still wish we would have got a zoom in on that food because he munching on it and it looked good, but I just wish we could have got a little bit closer to it. But I'll get closer to it because Taboo's open from 11 to 11 from Sunday to Thursday and 11 to 2 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. And Americans traveling by car this holiday season may be a little extra thankful this season. The American Automobile Association says fuel prices at the pump are dipping. Now, well, good morning, West Texas. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Rick Dorsey.
And I'm Chandler Foreman, and we have a packed show for you in a full house today.
Full house.
So excited to have everyone back. Right.
Everywhere
is a hunt. Wait, what's that, Full House?
Is that Full House or did I make the wrong? I think
that's Full House. That's right.
Because they turn and do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, time to get to it.
Oh, we want the funk. Hey, you gotta have that funk. Oh.
Speaking of the funk, what we got going on outside, Bridget?
Yes, today's the day where you want to wear your deodorant. Oh,
that's important.
it's very important.
That's actually a very good tip.
The community is gonna. I mean, hey, we don't got the funk. Not that way.
We don't.
We don't.
Not up here. Not up here. We don't try to have it correct.
Viewers don't have the funk either because
you need the funk.
Yeah.
You gotta have that funk.
Day in an article. It's pretty cute. So I hope the Eagles win.
I hope the Eagles win too, but I will say that the Kansas City
Chuck E. Chiefs.
The Chuck E. Chiefs.
That's cute.
That's catchy.
That's cute.
Sorry.
That's definitely a.
We don't make the rules.
We don't.
Yeah.
We don't. Don't go anywhere, guys. Another hour of good morning. Good morning, Mason is coming up at 6.
The retail development. The city also tells the development will also bring more new businesses to West Texas.
And I also think that it will bring a lot of people from Sam's Club to
100%.
Costco.
Are you a Costco person?
I am a Costco person, thanks
okay.
to my hometown being in Houston.
Okay.
Costco just really skyrocketed within the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Are you a Costco or Sam's
I'm a Sam's Club girl for sure. The pizza got a chokehold on you.
I will say that Sam's pizza is crazy. And then Bridget said the hot dogs. I don't even know if I had the hot dogs, but I trust I trust all that wholesale food, okay?
Exactly.
I really do. For $1, for $3, a box of pizza for $5.
And it's economy?
Right. Now you can't heat it back up. I will say it don't taste as good.
It's Little Caesars. You got to eat it there.
Oh, correct.
It's hot and ready.
Hot and ready, right. Don't go anywhere. We've got another hour up.
We're taking a look at 191 and FM 1788. As you can see, that fog is very much still present, guys. If you are on your morning commute, just make sure that you're driving safely. Please make sure you're traveling the speed limit and that you're buckled up. Let's have a safe arrival to our destinations. Well, it's been a record-breaking year of holiday travel so far, and AAA expects that's going to continue until after New Year's. So if you're flying somewhere for the holidays this week, officials say to get to the airport early.
Give yourself plenty of time. It's so much better to arrive early, and maybe you're just sort of sitting around bored, walking around, maybe grab a magazine, a book, go to a restaurant at the airport. That's the best that you can do versus having to run around and be rushing or perhaps even miss your flight.
Now, AAA expects nearly 120 million Americans to travel 50 miles or more for the holidays. Now, whether that's by plane, car, or another means of transportation, that means it's up by 3 million people compared to 2023. Many travelers tell us they've noticed.
The check-in's been really long. My mom's still over there getting the dog checked in, but Atlanta's really busy this time of year.
It was really, really busy, and everyone was just on top of each other.
I know the average is 2 hours. You need to come 3 or 4 hours.
Now, most people traveling will be hitting the road, but there could be some difficulties because of weather. Parts of the Midwest and Northeast are facing intense snow. Now, meanwhile, the Office of the Texas Governor and TxDOT are releasing a new video, a public service announcement reminding drivers to move over or slow down this holiday season when approaching emergency vehicles. Let's take a look.
Texas roads are one of the deadliest places for law enforcement, first responders, and construction workers. Many drivers fail to move over or slow down when they see flashing lights or construction signs. And Texans are dying because of it. Don't be the reason that a police officer, a paramedic, or a construction worker lose their lives. Move over, slow down. It is the law.
Penalties for failing to follow the state's move over or slow down law were strengthened in 2023. Drivers can now receive a fine up to $1,250 for a first offense. Drivers who cause serious injuries while neglecting the law may face jail time. Well, now to an update on the devastating train collision in Pecos. The crash claimed 2 lives and led to multiple injuries. Now the National Transportation Safety Board has released its initial findings on the crash. Now the train collision happened last Wednesday when a northbound truck carrying a wind turbine base tried crossing the tracks. Investigators reported that the truck could not clear the intersection, causing a dangerous situation. The NTSB reports that emergency braking was applied before the collision, but the train still hit the trailer at nearly 68 miles an hour. Now the NTSB investigators arrived the following day to analyze the crash site and collect evidence. The locomotive's event data recorder has been sent to Washington, D.C. Officials are reviewing surveillance footage and seeking additional videos or eyewitness accounts. Investigators are focusing on operational errors, mechanical failures, and even environmental factors that may have contributed to this tragedy. Now, over on GoFundMe, the conductor and engineer on board were the 2 who were killed. A fundraiser has been raised for their families, has surpassed its $10,000 goal, and is now sitting at more than $77,000. For more on this story and a look at how you can donate, head on over to our website, yourbasin.com. In another update this morning, a Midland woman was indicted earlier this year by an Ector County grand jury in connection to a crash that happened back in June. That crash left 2 young boys dead and several others seriously injured. Ashley Danielle Hillen has been charged with 2 counts of manslaughter. Court records show she was speeding, ran a stop sign, and hit a car, killing 2. Now, after the crash, road crews were at that intersection, placing rumble strips along the roadway. The strips are intended to help keep drivers alert of the intersection and to control their speeds. However, Ector County Judge Dustin Fawcett says TxDOT also conducted a traffic study and determined that a traffic light is not needed for the intersection. Well, we're continuing our coverage out of Odessa, where residents can pay their bills normally once again. Now, it's been almost a month since the city's billing services went down after a cyber incident. We're told you can pay your bill the same way you always have in the past. The city says November and December bills will now be combined. The city also says that because it's the holidays, there will be no late fees or services disconnected. Residents will have the option to set up a payment plan. The city of Odessa will resume late fees and service disconnections in April. Coming up, Christmas is just 2 days away. And if you haven't gotten your gifts, you may be waiting a little too late. We'll tell you what the plan is after this.
We also just got word that President Trump's plane has touched down in Midland. And our very own Rick Dorsey is there. And Rick, what do you see?
We're here live at MAF right now. I'm Rick Dorsey. As you can see behind me, we're waiting for President Trump to arrive here on his private plane. Now, little is known about the former president's arrival. What we do know is that he'll be attending a private fundraising event with prices ranging for attendance $25,000 and up. Now, that's just to attend the event. Now, we'll be sure to cover that coverage as soon as we know more. But as of right now, we do know that Highway 191 is completely shut down and backed up with heavy police presence from DPS as well as state troopers to make sure that former President Trump has a safe arrival. Now, I'm going to take a step out of frame right now, guys. As you can see, we're still waiting. We do see that Secret Service is right now waiting for his arrival. We haven't seen his plane arrive just yet, but when we do, we'll be sure to give you that live coverage right here on ABC Big 2 News.
Alrighty, well, thank you.
Well, good morning, guys. We're joined live in studio with Regina Stocks. She's the owner of Paramedical Tattoo. And as you guys know, this month is October and it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And she has a tattoo service, basically, that you cover up scars. So kind of talk to me about that. What does that look like for the healing process and kind of covering up those scars?
Absolutely. So a lot of people have the misconception that this is just a regular tattoo, like I'm putting a flower over your scar.
And that is not what's going on.
It's not what it is. No. So we're actually camouflaging the scar into the surrounding skin. So it looks like it was never there.
Oh, okay.
So it's tattooing like a regular tattoo machine, but we go in with ink to camouflage it as well. And so we go every 6 to 8 weeks. You'll have a session. The sessions are very quick, but this way it allows the ink to settle under the skin and disperse so it heals looking more natural.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah, so it's a process. It's not a one and done thing like a regular tattoo.
I was just going to ask that. So is it multiple sessions or what does that look like?
Yes, it's multiple sessions. So, and we're hoping for next year to add areola reconstruction to that list of services. So for breast cancer survivors, it's a great service because you could start now by getting the scars camouflaged and then next year add the areola reconstruction to that.
That's actually beautiful. I'm sure that's everything for those women's confidence. So kind of talk to me, is it also for if someone is recovering from either a breast cancer or like either a C-section or anything like that, can you cover up other scars, or is it only for breast cancer?
No, ma'am. It's for every scar. Every scar. So I'm a cancer survivor. I have an 8-inch scar across my abdomen, so I'm actually camouflaging my own scar. So surgical scars, cosmetic scars. I have victims that had burn marks, that have had skin grafts, anything. Self-harm, domestic violence scars, anything.
Okay,
we cover
perfect.
all of it.
So you're just restoring that confidence into women. I absolutely love that. So kind of talk to me, how much does something like this cost? Is it covered by insurance?
So you actually can use your insurance, especially for women who've had mastectomies due to breast cancer. You can use your insurance to pay for it, especially the areola reconstruction. It just depends on the scar and the size of it, how dark it is. There's so many different factors that play into it.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you can kind of talk to me a little bit, I'm sure it's different for someone who has more melanated skin or just deeper skin tones. Is it more sessions that's required for that? How does that work?
No, actually, no. So this works for all skin types, all skin tones, which is something that you don't normally see in with laser or with microneedling. Yes, so it's not for everybody. This is a one forever for everybody type of deal.
Perfect. So I know we're kind of closing out here, but kind of tell, where can people find you if they're interested in your services, and kind of set up an appointment if they're interested?
Absolutely. So our Instagram is at InkRxTattoo, and our email is at inkrxtattoo@gmail.com. So you can just send me pictures of your scars, and I'll let you know how I can help you.
And is a consultation needed for every a session, or how does that work?
As long as I have photos of your scar, we can do a consultation over FaceTime or over phone.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. She's going to return again for the 7 o'clock. This is definitely something for all races, all sizes. So if this is something that you're needed, you can head over to yourbasin.com for more information. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Well, good morning, guys. I'm joined here live in studio with Tom from Faith Inclusion Network. He's the executive director, and he's here to tell us all about the work that you guys are doing here in the Basin. How are you doing this morning?
Doing great, doing great.
Perfect. So tell me, what is the Faith Inclusion Network?
The Faith Inclusion Network is a nonprofit, a 501c3 that helps churches and other faith communities include people with disabilities.
Perfect. So kind of tell me, what's the history of this? How did this come into inception?
Well, a mom had a teenage daughter who had autism, and so she could not find a place to worship. Her name was Karen Jackson, and as she tried to attend Catholic churches, most would not work with her, but she finally found one that said, we don't have all the answers, but we'll figure it out. And that's all she needed. And she thought, well, there are a lot of other families going through the same situation. So that set her on a quest to really find those families and to work with other churches, and so that she created a network of churches that were inclusive, and started providing trainings. And so that's how Faith Inclusion Network got started. And as I became executive director, we moved that nonprofit to Midland, Texas, because I know more people here and have lived longer here, and so we're in the process of establishing that network here in Midland and Odessa.
Perfect. So kind of tell me, what ministries have you guys worked with already, or any future partnerships that you guys are looking forward to?
Well, we've worked with First Christian Church in Midland to develop a special needs ministry, or we call it inclusion ministry. Grace Christian in Odessa. We've talked with Golf Course Church of Christ, and so we'll work with any church, any denomination, and help them develop ways to include people with disabilities.
Perfect. So it's definitely inclusion. So I just want to ask again, or last question, is it for children, or people of any age, or what do you guys cover age-wise?
It covers everybody, all ages, and a lot of our churches do a good job. They don't think they're doing special needs ministry, but they really are, and they're inclusive. They establish a relationship, and we want churches to know that it doesn't matter how large you are, or how much money you have, or how many staff you have. People and families that have kids with disabilities just want the relationship. They don't want programs, and any church can provide those relationships. And once we get to know families and people with disabilities, and see that they have some spiritual needs as well, fellowship needs, education, worship, service. All of those are important needs for everybody.
100%. It builds community. It makes you feel like a sense of belonging, and just a sense of community in general. So, Tom, thank you so much for being here this morning. We're going to bring you back again for the 7 o'clock. This is a wonderful interview. Thank you so much for being here. Back to you in studio.